Good morning, students. Today we'll discuss about the guest services, right, in your hotel. We all know that the various guest services we have to handle, like suppose handling guest mails, message handling, custody and control of keys, and guest paging, safe deposit locker, guest room change, left luggage handling, and guest complaints. These are some guest services related to our practical that we have, how we can do the guest mail, how to handle the message handling, or if the guest is like having a guest keys, so how to control the keys and how to custody with you, and what is the guest paging, or if we are providing the safety guest deposit lockers, so how we can handle, right? And guest room change, if the guest is not satisfied for the same room number, so then we can change that room on a particular time of period, right? So how we can do it, or if the guest is like left from the college and left luggages with us, so we can check, or we can properly staffed in a storage room. So guest complaints, there are various guest complaints in the hotel. So how to handle that guest complaints? So we can see on the next slides, right? First is like we will discuss about the handling guest mail, types of mails received by the hotel. There are different types of emails we receive from the guest side, right? Or mails, ordinary or registered. Then one is guest mail, then is one is hotel mail, which is under some points that guest mail, resident guest, checkout guest, future guest, right? Then hotel mail, official and employee. So we'll discuss about the mails. So first is mails. What are the mails? Right? Ordinary and registered mail. Then we have the another point, guest mail. When the guest is staying with us, when the guest is going to be checking out, when the guest is future booking, right? So we will get the emails from the guest side, right? For the reservations purpose, for the checking purpose, right? Or some inquiries they can do. So they can send us a mail in a proper manner. So hotel mail, we have the official mail also that we have to give into the guest also, where from we do the emails, right? Then one is employee, the employee with email ID, right? So the procedure of mail handling is mails received at the front office, right? So stamp the date and time and enter the received email in the mail logbook. There is a one logbook in the reception. Then we can, whenever we receive the email at the reception at the front desk, then we have to stamp with the date and time and enter the received mail in the logbook. We have some logbook, right? So that, so we have to write down that email, okay? And then sort the mails. We have to sort the mails like guest mails or hotel mails, right? Then we have the guest mail. There are some points for the guest mail also that send to the information desk, which will further sort the mails, right? One is resident guest, one is departed guest, and one is future guest, right? So the resident guest is, if the guest is in his or her room, then send a bed boy to deliver the mail to the guest. If it is a registered mail, take the signature of this guest in the mail logbook. See, when the guest is staying with us, then we have to send, if we receive any mail from the guest side, or if it is a guest is staying with us, it is a resident guest, then we have to send the bellboy to send this mail, to deliver the mail to the guest. If the guest is a registered mail, take the signature of the guest in the mail logbook. Right? Resident guest, there is another point. If the guest is not in his or her room, then place the mail in the key rack along with the room key and deliver the same when the guest comes to collect the room key. There is 2 points. Like suppose if the guest is staying with us, then we have to send the mail with handover to the bell boy, and they will deliver to the guest room, right? If the resident registered mail, then we have to take signature of the guest in the mail logbook. We have to write down. Another thing is that when the guest is not in the room, right? So what we have to do is we have to keep on the room key key rack, right? In the room key rack or along with the room key, that whenever the guest came back at the hotel, we can deliver that the same email when the guest comes to the collect the room key. When guest comes in the hotel, we have to hand over the room key and along with the email, right? So the departed guest, then is departed guest. If the guest has left a mail forwarding address, redirect the mail to that address. If not, then send the mail back to the sender. If the future guest, then we have to discuss about the future guest. Send the email to the reservation section that we have. I have already told you that when the guest is coming in the hotel for the reservation purpose, so they will send the booking to us, right? So the reservation send the mail to the reservation section where it is be attached with the GRC and kept along with the reservation docket to the delivered to the guest at the time of registration, right? So the another point is hotel mails. One is guest mails, right? So we have to sort that mails accordingly. One is guest mail, one is hotel mails. So the guest mails also we have to sort some future booking or departed guest or a resident guest, right? In three parts we have to divide the email, right? Mail handling. So what is the hotel mails? Now we'll discuss about the hotel mails. Hotel mails is official mails and employees mail, right? So the official mail is sent to respective offices. When we are talking about the official mails, that we have to send the offices, right? Respective offices. When the employees emails we can talk about, so send to the time office, place in the mail rack from where employees can collect their emails. When we will receive an email from employee side, right? So send to the time office. We have to send the time office. Everyone understood about the time office? Students, what is time office? Anyone? Students? Student, you understand about the time office? Answer quickly, students. Sahil Baba. Yes, Kajal. Time offices, like when we check, we came in the hotel, that is security area, we can say that is the time office. Right? So place in the mail rack from where employees can collect their emails, right? So I hope you understand this slide, students. Shall we move next slide? Students,
Yes, ma'am.
okay, thank you. So next is a telephone call or a visit or for a guest. Check whether the guest is in his or her room, right? So the message handling we have to do in the hotel. Whenever we are in the hotel, we have to discuss about the telephone or some other points, right? So the message handling is a hotel. Telephone can call or a visitor for the guest. Check whether the guest in his room, Then we have to sort another two points that the guest is not in the room or guest in the room. So both are situations we have to handle this time, right? So next one we will discuss about the guest is not in the room. If the guest has left a location form, locate the guest and inform about the same, right? If the guest is not in, like has left a location form, right? If we are in the hotel, so there is a location form. So if the guest is already informed you or locate you or already location form is written by the guest, that already information we got from the guest that where is he, right? He's in the hotel, but location he has to be tell us, right? Then we have to contact with that, right? We have to inform about the same. One is if the guest has not left the location form, note the message on a message slip. The message may be for a resident, departed, or a future guest. One is like already we have the information for the guest that where is he, right? One situation is guest is no information we have, no left a location form, then we have to note down the message on a message slip, right? So the message may be resident guest, departed guest, or a future guest, right? Right. So there are two situations that guest is already he informed us that where is the location is, or one is no location is mentioned over there, or any no location form is mentioned from the guest side, or has not left the location form, right? So we have to write down in the message slip all the messages, right? So message may be from a resident guest when the guest is already staying with us, or maybe the message is for a departed guest or a future guest. So we have to keep with us, right? So the one is resident guest and one is departed guest. Then a resident guest, note the message on a message slip in a duplicate. Keep the original copy along with the room key and ask the bellboy to slip the duplicate copy through the door of the guest room. One is departed guest. If the guest is already departed, then check if the guest has left any mail and message forwarding details and act accordingly. One is future guest. Note the message on a message slip and send it to the reservation section where will be attached with the GRC and kept with the reservation docket so that it can be delivered to the guest at the time of check-in, right? So there are three situations when the guest is staying with us. One is guest is departed from the guest hotel, or future booking. If the guest is coming in your hotel and we got some mail or any message from the other person, right, for the particular person, so we have to that what we have to do in the future book, that guest is checking, when the guest is checked in, at the time of check-in we have to hand over the that slip, right, or message slip to the person, or we can take it send it to the reservation section, so that where it will be attached with the GRC form. We can attach that GRC form whenever the guest is staying in your hotel. We have to present or we have to hand over to the guest at the time of check-in, right? So there are 3 points, right? So I hope you understand this, students. Message handling. Message handling, I'm repeating that we have to like one is situation is guest is in the hotel, and one situation is guest is in the hotel. Guest is not in the hotel or room, or guest in the room, right? When the guest is in the room, we have to hand over the, we have to connect the call to the guest or room number, or inform the guest about the visitor if the guest is came directly, right, at the reception, or if the guest is already on call or some message, we have to hand over the guest in the room, right, through bellboy. But when the guest is not in the hotel or in the room, so then we have to check that location form is filled by the guest or not, right? We have to check if the location form is we have with us, then we have to inform about the same. Then if the guest is not in the room, then we don't have any location form. So then we have to note down the message in the message slip, and after the guest is came in your hotel, we have to prevent that message, right? If the guest is future booking, suppose in future he is coming in your hotel, right? So at the time of check-in, we have to give to the guest, right? So I hope students will understand this slide. Shall we move next slide? Then we will discuss about the custody and control of keys. Importance of control of keys prevents unauthorized access to the guest room can be established who all enter the room guest room, ensure security of the guest and the guest belongings, then prevents invasion of the guest privacy. Importance of control when the prevent the guest access the guest room, right? Who all enter the guest room, right? Or ensure security of the guest belongings. We have to control that nobody go in the room or nobody will enter in the room guest room whenever the guest is staying with us, right? What are the belongings of the guest? We have to secure and ensure that, right? Or guest privacy is important, right? So nobody enter in the room without guest permission. So these are the custody and control of the keys we have to do, right? So the key control is main important in the hotel that when we are working at the hotel, so the guest privacy, belongings, guest belongings, they are all important, right, for us. Their security is important while the guest is staying with us. So the room keys of unoccupied rooms should be placed in the mail and key rack at the front desk, right? So the unoccupied room keys we have to place in a proper mail and key rack at the front desk. We have to be the keys of occupied rooms should be with the guests while they are in the hotel. So make sure when the guest is staying with us, so if the room is occupied, then key should be with the guest only, right? In case of loss of room key, the door lock should be changed immediately. If you find that if someone gets lost his or her room key, then we have to change the door lock immediately, right? We can take the risk about the next guest will stay with us and maybe some stolen or maybe some pilferage in the hotel. So we have to control that also, right? So some of the in some of the various guest services, there are one point that is guest paging procedure. So a visitor or a guest arrives at the hotel guest uh, in the front desk. So to check whether the guest in his or her room, right? Then there is a 2 points that the guest is in the room or the guest in the uh, not in the room or in the room, right? Guest paging is both are two procedures. So now we will discuss about the guest is in the not in the room. What we have to do is, if the guest has left a location form, write the name of the guest on a page board and send the page boy, with the page board to the location mentioned in the location form. As we have already know that when the guest is staying in the hotel, so there is a location form when the guest is going in, like suppose bar, restaurant, a lounge. So they will inform us or fill this form that I am in this place, right? So if there any message or anyone came to meet me, so you just send me, right? So we can send them a page board and send page boy with the page board to the location mentioned in the location form, right? We have to send that person on billboard to the that particular location. If the guest has not left the location form, note the message on a message slip and deliver it to the guest, right? So when the guest is not left any location form, so we have to write down a message on the slip and deliver to the guest later on, right? One is the page boy will raise the page board and shake it so that the bells attached to it will ring and catch the attention of people. When the guest notices his name on the page board, she will contact the page boy, that who will escort him to the front desk to meet the visitor. So there is a one board, right, in which is written over the guest name, that, and they having attached with the bell, right? So the bell attached to the ring and catch the attention of the public or people, right? So when the guest notices his name on the page board, then he will contact the page boy, right? So then we can escort them in to the front desk to meet the visitor, whosoever came to meet with the guest, so we have to escort them, right? So there is a one point that the guest is in the room. Then we have to contact the call to the guest or inform the guest about the visitor. If the guest is in the room, then we have to first call to the guest, right? So or inform the guest about the visitor. So good morning, sir. I'm from front desk. So someone is meet you that the guest name you have to ask the guest, and his person is wants to meet you, right? If the guest allows that person, then you can send him in the room. Otherwise, you can't send in the room, right? Otherwise, you can say that uh, otherwise, you can tell them that please wait in the lobby. If sometime the guest is tell you that just stay in the lobby, I'll just come back, right? Just tell him that I'll come back. So then, if the guest is came to the lobby, then that's fine, right? But we have to take the permission when the guest is any visitor came to meet with the guest. We have to take the permission from the guest, right? So this is the main paging procedure which we have discussed. I hope you understand, students, the paging procedure. Then we have the another guest services in the hotel, in the front desk will provide to the guest that safety deposit locker. At the time of check-in, guests are advised to keep their valuables in the safe deposit lockers available at the front desk. Some hotels may also provide in-home safe deposit lockers depending on the room category. Right? So using safety deposit locker is one is issuing a safety deposit locker, surrendering safety deposit, allocate an empty safety deposit locker, or ask the guest to withdraw the articles placed in the safe deposit box. Ask the guest to fill the safe deposit box registration card, then assign the locker and issue the room keys to the guest. The guest can keep his or her articles in the locker and operate it in his and when he she likes. The guest is required to make an entry in the safe deposit locker register for each use. Right? So we have to do these procedures we have to follow while using the safety deposit locker. First, we have to issue the safety deposit locker. Then we have to allocate the empty safety deposit locker. Then we have to ask the guest to pay the safe deposit box registration card, then assign the locker, issue the room keys to the guest, and the guest can keep his or her articles in the locker and operate it as and when he she likes. The guest is required to make an entry in the safe deposit locker register for each use. So this is the safety deposit locker, safe deposit locker, which we have to provide to the guest. When surrendering safety deposit, when the guest ask the guest to withdraw the articles placed in the safe deposit box, then collect a locker key from the guest, then ask the guest to sign an acknowledgement that he she has received all the articles kept in a safe deposit locker. Right? So this is the procedure we have to follow in the hotel. when the guest is arrived or valuable, we can keep in the safe deposit lockers all the valuables in the safe deposit lockers at the front desk, right? But some of the hotels now these days we are providing in-home safe deposit lockers, right? So depending on the room category. So students, there is one small video about the how to handle the guest complaints, right? These are the students who role play about the guest complaints that guest is not happy for the services, right? So came to the reception area. So how to handle, right? Guest is not satisfied for the he ordered the food in the room and that was not up to the mark, and then the reservation or receptionist will handle how to handle it. So now we have to check with the room service department that what is the problem while the sending the food, right? It is like how much time will you take for the services, right? So we have to ask or we have to check that department first. Then we have to get back to the guest, right? So this is the main motive that we have to confirm that particular department first. Then we have to apologize or we can offer some discounts to the guests. Right? Now we have to apologize that if the mistake is done by the hotel staff, right? So we have to apologize that mistake, and we have to some offer some discounts, good discounts or any complimentary things like food basket or any lunch or dinner we can do the complimentary for the guests. Now she offered some discount to the guest for the guest satisfaction that guest will not help her. So we can offer some discounts on his or her room tariff or some meals we can provide to the guest, right? Or some of the like restaurants in the restaurant we can offer some discounts while he's having a lunch or dinner so that we can do the compensate for that. So now this is the at the time of this time, we have to be attentive, be calm, be polite with the guest. Whenever we are taking any guest complaints, we have to be calm and we have to be attentive at the time of whenever we are working at the working times. We have to be attentive and we have to check that room number that whosoever who is contacting you.